How do we get through life when the world is such a grim place? When there's so much violence and hate? How can we be happy in a world of suffering? Grab your shoes because we're doing a walking meditation today. Welcome to Mindfulness for Beginners. Well, my friend, I hope you're happy. I hope you're peaceful. I'm on the edge of the Peak District in the countryside today. It's a beautiful day. I'm in the process of recording my Plum Village diary, and I hope to get the unedited version on Patreon this weekend. And then I'll start adding edited chunks to the podcast later. So your support is incredibly welcome, and I want to thank Tim, Anne and Max, Beth, Kerry and Valerie, Susan, Coco and Trevor, Patricia, Cynthia and Transformational Astronomer, I think that was the right name, for your support. I'm going to shout out someone each week going forward as well. Many people who practice mindfulness feel guilt about their happiness. Maybe you do too. They say there's so much suffering in the world. How can I sit and follow my breath and be happy and enjoy my life? It's a good question, and it's one that Thich Nhat Hanh addressed directly. He told us that happiness and suffering are not separate. That the mud provides the nutrients for the lotus withers one day and becomes one with the mud. So happiness and suffering are interconnected. And one of the keys to a happy life is to be open to happiness even when we're suffering. And this is also true of suffering in the world. We can be open to the world's suffering and we can hold it. Their suffering is our suffering. But we shouldn't stop ourselves from walking the path to happiness. When we're calm and happy, we're at our most empathetic. We're ready to understand other people and engage, to take action. And we should always work on our peace and our joy so that our interactions, our interbeing with the world can be as wholesome as possible. These days we're in danger of seeing the world as a pretty grim place, especially if we view it through the lens of the news and social media. And I used to feel this way whenever I was younger. I still do sometimes when I'm stressed. Seeing danger everywhere, pulling back from other people. Seeing life as a grim struggle you have to grind through. It's human nature to feel that way sometimes, but we need to remember that the world is a beautiful place. It's a place of joy and peace and freedom. And we can experience it with full awareness through our walking meditation. I was very lucky to be instructed in the art of walking by Brother Min Hee. The monastics of Plum Village practice walking meditation every day. It's an incredible thing to share, to experience, to witness. And they walk with a grace and awareness like they're floating across the ground. One of the things that really blew my mind when I was listening to Brother Min Hee was how he viewed the world when he was walking. He didn't see the world as a vale of tears. He saw a beautiful planet that he was smiling to, and a planet that was smiling to him as well. And the world's smiling to you. As we're walking along, we can see a tree smiling to us. We might see a cloud or the sun smiling to us, or a bird. So yes, there is suffering in the world, but I would invite you to see the lotus as well as the mud. So let's continue our walk together now. And I want to share what Brother Min Hee taught me. And you might like to pause the podcast to find a suitable place to walk. It could be inside your house. It could be your garden or at a park. If it's possible to walk in nature, that will be ideal. But don't worry if you can't. So the first dimension to consider as we walk together is the timing of your steps. We want to walk slowly in time with our breath. And Brother Minhee suggested that this can be done by taking 3 steps on the in-breath, 3 steps on the out-breath. So if you want to try that now. As we're walking, we can notice the sensation of our feet against the earth. You might imagine yourself impressing peace on the earth as you walk. One, 2, 3. Breathing out. 1, 2, 3. But a way that you can relax yourself is to take a longer out breath and in breath. So we can try 3 steps on the in breath, 4 steps on the out breath. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3. Breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just find a rhythm between your breath and your steps that feels comfortable for you. So we'll take a few breaths now in silence. It's also important to relax your body as we walk. So let's focus as we walk the next few steps on our posture. So you might imagine your spine like a stack of coins. Your head balanced on the top rather than falling forward. And just tucking our chin into our neck just a little bit. Just watching a bird of prey pass overhead. Becoming aware of our facial muscles for a moment. Noticing any tension we're carrying in our brow. And choosing to let it go if we can. And allowing a gentle smile to emerge on your face. We're smiling to the world, to the trees, to the clouds, to the blades of grass, to the horses that are in the field next to me, to the plane that's passing overhead, to the birds. And next, becoming aware of the shoulders and just seeing if we can relax them, allowing them to drop down. And just allowing our arms to hang loose at our sides rather than being clasped or being in pockets. Just really relaxing that upper body. And as we're walking, I'd invite you to repeat a gatha, a short verse, while we walk together, in time with your steps. So as you breathe in, I have arrived. As you breathe out, I am home. In the here, in the now. And as we walk, if any thoughts come up, any thoughts arise, simply noticing the thoughts, smiling to the thoughts, allowing it to leave, and returning your awareness to your walking. Now we're going to see if we can feel the words without saying them. So when stepping on your in-breath, seeing if you can feel yourself arriving. And as you breathe out, finding yourself coming home. This isn't easy. We're very used to attaching words and labels, but it's an excellent way to focus your awareness. We'll just take a few breaths in silence while we do that. And the other way that Brother Minhee suggested that you can focus your awareness while walking mindfully is to notice the changes in your body as we walk. So I've already mentioned noticing the contact between your feet and the ground. And we might focus that a little bit more by noticing or heel landing, and how the pressure transfers towards the front of the foot with each step. And then the step lifting, the pressure releasing from the back of the foot to the front of the foot. And to intensify the experience, one of the suggestions from the monastics was to try walking barefoot, so to really feel that contact with the earth. I would just encourage you to be very careful where you do this. But for now, just expanding the spotlight of awareness in our body to notice the bend in our knee as we walk. You might notice the effort of your muscles, maybe in your glutes or your calves. And I'm also noticing the effort of my core muscles to keep me stable as I walk, so your abs and your other core muscles. As you expand the spotlight of awareness to your entire body, just noticing what you can find as you breathe in, as you breathe out. And now turning the spotlight of awareness outwards, just noticing your environment as you walk. One of the suggestions from Brother Minhee was to walk rather than in a straight line, in a kind of a snake pattern. So you don't have to turn your head to notice everything that's around you. You're slowly turning your whole body. And we can see that the world is smiling at you. The leaves on the oak tree, which you might be able to hear now. The flowers on this bush. are smiling. The blades of grass are smiling to you. The horses, the birds, maybe any other animals you see are smiling to you. Clouds, the mountains, the trees, the stones, the earth is smiling to you. And we can smile back. I wanted to finish with a song that we sing in our Sangha, or mindfulness group. And we sang it in Plum Village as well. And we can use verses from Plum Village songs as we walk. I'd really encourage you to look those up on YouTube later on when you get home. And we can take the lyrics to a song and we can use them as we take steps. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower, I am fresh as the dew, and I am solid as a mountain, I am firm as the earth, I am free. Dear friend, I hope you've enjoyed today's walk and meditation. I hope you've been able to see the mud and the lotus, the interconnectedness of happiness and suffering. I hope the world's been smiling to you. And most of all, I hope that you're enjoying your practice. I hope that you're happy because you're a good person and I want you to be happy, but also because happy, calm people reduce the suffering in the world for other people. So may you be happy, may you be peaceful, and may you see yourself through the eyes of understanding and compassion. Slán Bhuile, and I'll see you next time.